As a young girl, I wouldn't want to go out. Almost like I felt like I just needed to disappear.
Your parents can't even talk about sex. They can't even mention the word sex.
I started growing braids very late.
Because I remember how I was pressured into, having sex. I had friends that they don't talk about it casually.
Okay, I let my mom I was a virgin for the longest time.
I was not even in year one. Maybe I was about to enter uni. I wasn't even a boy, I was a man.
Hey!
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Chinyere and I have my beautiful friends in the building today because we have something very interesting to talk about. I'm Joyful Shumatron.
I'm Frida Idiaye.
We're talking about how boys used to approach us way back in the day. I was having a discussion with my husband and we're talking about how you would see young girls walking with guys on the street and you automatically think that they have some sort of relationship with that person, when in the real sense of it, if you go close you might hear that the girl is trying to push the boy away or tell him leave me alone. Like, it could be anything, but then there's always this notion that people would have when they see a young girl with a guy, especially when they are not hearing what their conversation is like. We're also going to do like a slight comparison between then and now. Guys approaching girls, young girls then and now. Do you have any experiences, any special experiences when you were younger? Do you remember how old you were?
So it was more when I was a teenager. And where I grew up, it was more of guys. So normal as a teenager, and especially if you be fine girl. So if you are going outside, just know say they don't stand by. Just they wait. Like, you can't even avoid, it's unavoidable. So they'll definitely come to approach you. They'll call you different name, Chioma.
Your name or
yeah, you be so embarrassed to even go out to buy something. And there was one particular time I went to the cafe, so my brother was with me. So this guy was coming to come and toast me. He saw my brother. I saw that I was with. He doesn't know me. Doesn't know my brother. I told my brother to shift. Say, guy, please shift.
Can you imagine?
So we're just laughing. So funny.
It's the audacity for me.
And he told him to shift. Like, just.
I think it sounds so inconvenient. As a young girl, I wouldn't want to go out. And if I want to go out, I make sure that it's almost like I felt like I just needed to disappear. Like, I don't want to be invincible. So I remember I used to wear full shirts, very big shirts, and then as I walk in, I'll just pull my shirt out because I don't want my legs. So I make sure that exactly. So I remember how uncomfortable it was. You either look for someone to follow you. Your parents sending you out was like torture.
Where we grew up was a bit secluded, it was jarring, Benin. And the place was really quiet, kind of more controlled. My parents don't really send us on errands because we were kind of sheltered. If you just go out now, you don't carry belly.
Yeah.
The way where we get stuff was from our house was really close. And like I said, the area was not really rowdy, so they had a little bit of confidence, or did I say they're a bit comfortable sending us to get stuff. I felt like I had that power because as you are walking, if there's a guy come, you automatically just know that. I'll just be like, this guy gets too slow. I'll tell myself, watch it, and I'll just be going. Next thing, once the guy just gets there,
yes,
I said this. I knew that this guy. So almost every time that I have to be walking, maybe coming from school, whether the guy is really older than you or about your age, just know that somebody, like, there's no way you will not hear hello. But compared to the way things are now, most of our children, at least we are all parents here. We're usually afraid.
We've all had experiences with young girls.
We're usually afraid to send them out to get stuff. Like, I think that our children are even more sheltered now than we were, and it's because of a lot of things, actually. It's a different ball game now. Parents are a bit more scared.
And let's be honest, our parents will not sit down and tell us about sex education. It's like, why will you
what's the point talking about it? I think maybe they almost felt as if if they talk about it, he will introduce you.
So they don't talk about
it. There's this fear that if you tell your child, like, you're exposing them already by telling them. But the difference is not just the sex education, because now we educate our children more, but we are still more afraid of even letting them be a bit more free to stuff.
What are those things that we think will make us
responsible?
Because as much as we're educating them, we're still very guarded about
the world we live in. It doesn't change so much, because the dangers have always been there.
Yeah.
As at least for us sitting here, I'm sure we've experienced one form of sexual inconvenience, if I can put it like that, from people. But now it is worse because of the way things are. Exposure to social media. So a lot of things are normalized now. Like there are some things that are taboo. Like even your parents can't even say talk about sex. They can't even mention the word sex. So now people just use the word loosely in different way, shape, or form. Before we say bomo, those kind of things, but it's so far fetched. You know, it's like it's like a rumor.
We've heard of it, but we don't know if it's really true.
It's more like true, but we just know there's no danger there. Be careful, what you hear, what you see has different effects on you, right? Now you see things like literally maybe even your neighbor. You just say your neighbor will be trending on social media for doing something, one crazy thing. You know,
so now we have more.
It heightens it heightens the fear. It heightens the fear.
I feel like the slight difference between then and now is that we are teaching them about those things before they happen to them.
Yes, that definitely.
Because way back then, I feel like a lot of people learned from experience, as opposed to being like sat down and taught.
I remember when I was in
boarding school, a lot of people told me that their parents never talk to their mothers, never talk to
No, but a lot of parents don't talk about talk to their children about it. I remember even when I was developing like breasts, I went to meet my sister. Please press it back. Press it back, because it felt embarrassing. Like I'm already getting old.
Mature.
You get, because then
and more like you will not be in the eyes of the boys. The boys will
it was like, I wasn't talking about boys then, but it just felt like I'm not old. Hey. No, press.
So wait, what made you excited about boobs?
I don't know. I feel like
that was the truth. Yours was a mixed body, so mine was all girls.
Mine was mixed.
So there's this awareness about boys already.
I was ever excited about boobs.
Me, I was excited.
I don't think. I think I wanted to, because I saw that there were girls that had like big boobs. I think when I entered,
that was how
my chest was flat. Girls were wearing bra. I was wearing bra top. So like, at what point? Where do I get to that point where I'll start wearing? I think bra they hungry me, but I think at some point when the boobs now came out, I now realized that let's say these boobs, they bring attention, and I don't want that.
I think why she was excited about it is because she was in Miss School. And you know that because I remember I was in a mix. No, do you know why I said so? Because I remember there was a time that we had a program in my school, and they invited boys from another federal college, that was mixed. And the way our seniors were excited about them, trying to show off all those things. So I can imagine in a mixed school. And then when I even left, because I didn't finish from the boarding school, I left to a mixed school. And when I went to visit my friends, all they asked me about how far the boys, they were just like excited, like they want to know what's happening.
I was excited about it anyway. Like I started growing breasts very
okay.
And I remember when I would resume school, I would see my friend, everybody's already wearing bra.
Being left out.
Oh God, I felt so like I was so scared.
And you can imagine how proud we feeling like
now.
It was not just only breasts, because like them they were mature. Me, I was just the same slim girl, like
straight, no problem.
My uniform was not helping it. And at least for people like us, thank God, I don't know what's going to wear a shape. There's nobody who will show. When I started coming out, I wasn't wearing bra, because they now said if you start wearing bra, to start reducing. You're like, no, I'm not wearing bra. Me, I used to wear weird meat. I don't even meat. Now I just the secondary school children. Yes, so me, I wear the party, but put it in my nipple like this,
like to not shoot out.
Because you can't deceive the nipple. The nipple must show. So I will just hide the nipple, just be growing. But eventually, it now started growing, and when my breast now eventually became big, I'm now saying,
please, body house. Did you not hear of the insect that walks backward? Did you ever hear of it? There's an insect that said that walk, but they say put on your breast, the breast will grow. You never heard of it?
Like the stage where I was, they felt embarrassing. Like, hey God, I'm having no. It felt like, please. I told you, I carried this hand mortar that we had, because I don't know where I heard the gist from, that if you use it, if you warm it up and use it to melt it back. I gave her to help me to melt it back.
Based on saying,
it was so painful. I don't know where I got the gist from, but that's what I heard that it works. So I told her to put it on the fire. We put it on the fire, it was a bit warm. I said when she didn't pay me, now she stopped. Because they said they know the gist now. Say if you use that.
If you look at how things are now, I don't think girls are as as was he shy?
They are not shy. Children of nowadays are
Yeah.
not shy because they're already exposed.
Yeah.
They've already heard. In fact, even
And I
if
think
you don't
that,
tell
and I
them
think, and I
anything,
think we also have to give ourselves as parents kudos, because apart from them being exposed, the way we carry ourselves, how confident we are,
yes,
and the
they are
things that they
seeing
pick
you
from us.
and watching
Because
you
I can
and
imagine
learning.
why would my child now be growing books and be covering her books when I am on my own like a fully confident woman. You know, I ooze confidence and that kind of stuff. I think it also has a lot to do with we as
And you know
mothers.
that back then as parents, they always just, it's like, they're already developing these things now. Men will be chasing. So it's a different parenting style back
Yeah,
then.
Lies. The
And
sex
yeah.
of the lies.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
lifestyle was a
Let's
bit
talk to them more
different.
like to scare us
Hey,
from it.
God.
Yeah.
My mom said if
And
a
imagine
guy
you trying
touch
to
you,
scare
you get
imagine you
pregnant.
trying to scare a child, and then the child find themselves in that situation where they can kind of exploit, and maybe they are seeing their age mates are doing it and nothing is happening to them. I think because I remember how I was pressured into having sex, and I've had friends that they'll
I've been
just
doing
talk
it,
about
but-
it casually, and I'm just like,
Hey, God,
as in,
Like,
I remember that you
why
don't-
you the only
their boyfriend
virgin?
will come in, their person will come in, and I'm just like, and it seems like a normal life. Like, as in,
Why is
what,
this?
what were they talking about? So imagine me not wanting
Yes, I had
to now
that feeling.
try
too.
it out.
Yeah, a lot of
So imagine you have a
I don't know
child
if
that's
I,
already been educated about that, and like they'll see it as okay, yeah, you're doing stuff, but there are
consequences. Yeah.
Yes.
If it doesn't go well, this is what will happen. So when the child is more equipped, they can make better decisions. So
Yeah,
the whole
that
lives
brings-
were just messed up. in the
That
first
brings us
place.
back to the question that you asked: why?
Yeah.
Why is it that then and now? Because everything was different. Our parents were exposed differently from the way we are as
Definitely.
parents now
Yeah.
are exposed.
Yeah.
The things that were prevalent then, at least
Yeah.
according to their own life and their own, time and period, was
Mm.
different compared to now. I mean, there was no TV because, well, there was TV, but not like the way it is now.
Yeah.
It is important for you as a parent to take charge.
Mm.
So you want to control the narrative.
Yes.
Because some of your kids might be watching whatever that's
listening
out
to
there.
some other-
There's too much to consume. There's too much content to consume. So
Yeah.
it's important for you as a parent to take charge of the narrative so that you can guide your child according to how you want them to turn out to be. Largely, the style of parenting and the era and everything,
Yeah.
it's different. It's different. Like, look at your children. Now they are comfortable wearing some certain things. These are things that your parents will not
Yes.
even you as a
Now.
full grown adult that are about to get married,
You will
sef,
not even
you still not be able
want
to wear it.
I couldn't imagine myself wearing crop tops at the time when I started going.
Mhm.
But my child now will tie her top that is not even crop top. By herself.
She will style it like that.
As a teenager, I think my mom, she's this very free person. She was not the leave it for God type anymore. I think when it comes to guys and things like this, I felt more confident telling her about it because she will always tell me that your mom is your best friend. Don't ever hide anything from your mommy. She doesn't just say it, but she
actually
yes,
does it, like,
yes, she does it.
action,
Like,
yeah.
so she will not, as a young girl, like if my mom wants to beat her children. So now me, she always a beat most times. So if my mom wants to beat me, and maybe somebody comes and like beat her. Maybe she really wants to beat me, but because of that person I said beat her,
Yeah.
she won't beat me.
My mom was so trusting of adults, like most parents are.
Yeah.
Most parents always prefer they trust the verdict of an adult. Like if a teacher
I did a
says,
video on Instagram where I mentioned this, how you shouldn't make sure that you ask your child.
Yes.
I feel like for my mom, then if somebody just says, I saw your child doing, especially clothes when it comes to dressing, because we came from very restrictive kind of background. So if any of her own people says, I saw your daughter wearing so and so, she's most likely going to trust them because she'll believe that this Christian, this, believer, how would she lie? At some point it became apparent that these people were just sometimes being malicious.
When it comes to boys, me didn't even hide. I didn't hide.
At what age?
I didn't talk.
At what age?
Okay, I let my mom I was a virgin for the longest time.
No, at what age? At what age you get?
People don't tell
At
their
what
parents that
age
they're
you
not
get comfortable discussing boys with your mom?
Let me just say I started discuss that as
and that's because they don't say ordinary discussion.
Youth as you don't dey university, give us.
I don't think
No,
university.
don't be just discuss as no be say discuss.
So this is
because if you discuss better say you don't stay with the person.
Exactly.
My
mom,
enter that side.
You don't enter that side.
You don't enter that
No,
side.
my mom, they call them. We'll call them. will say, okay, I want to say, hope he's a good guy. I want to, as in, there's a particular one she actually really, really liked. And you understand? Me, if I was to
so that means
her,
she was a bit lax when, not lax as for bad parenting.
no,
Like,
she was just, she would just still tell me that she would tell me not to have sex. Do you understand? She would tell me why. She would just say don't have sex. But she would tell me why it's always better to wait. You understand?
Religiously, we believe that it's when you're about to get married that you should now start thinking of this.
She wasn't religious, she was spiritual.
Okay.
Because
it will affect your religious standing, will affect how you relate to your child when it comes to relationship
like
and timing and everything.
Some parents might be open to discussing the relationships that you have, but
that time
sex no dey part of it.
Yes.
They'll just you don't be like say I don't know. Just not say I just think it's you and the boy. You are just together. But
yes, you know that
say,
even as our parents were dated or whatever, back then, even as far back as secondary school, my sister's secondary school to be precise, she had friends that used to take boys home. I don't know if they announced that it's my boyfriend though, but of course parents would just be like, okay, young boy, what they come find young
side eye. Did you ever bring boys home?
No, I didn't bring boys home.
And I did. I was not even in year 1. Maybe I was about to enter uni. I wasn't even a boy, I was a man.
Hey!
Well, I think because I didn't have anything to do with the person.
Yeah.
So I was kind of,
that one is
but even if it's still hard. If you reason it, Nigerian parents, they don't want to say anything to do without once it's opposite sex. That was like he was a groomsman.
Okay.
And I was one of the bridesmaids. And I was very young. I think I was I think I was in year 1, so I was still very young, maybe like 17, 18 or something.
She can't talk at year 1, groomsman.
I even find the hotel where the guy been stay for that our area. I came to my house, my dad messaged. But when they left, my father now called and said, who is that guy? All you guys say will be key things that you will do now as you're raising your own children that maybe your parents didn't do.
I want my children to be able to talk to me about anything, especially when it has to do with sexual harassment, because I knew that there were times when I had those situations, and I'll just go home and enter the house and mind my business, even though I was hurting. Even if I don't want my children to do certain things or participate in certain issues or whatever, and I want them to be able to know that, okay, I might be mad, because I even see some of my kids as young as they are now say, did you do this? Don't worry, I'll be mad. But I prefer you tell me and you lie to me or don't tell me. That's my number one. I want them to be able to tell me anything.
For me, I think I have adopted this parenting style where whenever something happens, I kind of relate it to when I was a child and how I would have wished my parents had done better. So there are some times when something happens and I will tell my husband, I say, you as a child, you did these things. Like, you don't say, oh, girls, you like to talk to boys, or like there's an age where
those things just
happen. But it's just explaining to them what, like, the dangers around it, what can happen when you give too much room for it. So all those. So I always, when it comes to education, same thing with reading. It's like you just go and read your book. I didn't want to be told that as a child. I don't want to be. I don't like to read. I don't like to read. So if you can't find a more creative way to talk, like a better way to tell your child to read, and tell them what the benefits of reading, how do you expect it to work? You are just going to be carrying the cycle. It's just going to play itself all over again.
Totally
agree. In fact,
that's one thing. That's one thing I also consciously do. In fact, that's what usually inspires some of my videos. Because these are the things that I would have wanted somebody to be there for me for, or do, or show me. Or these are the things that I wish I had somebody that would say, okay, let me tell you, this is what's going on, or blah 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 blah. So I definitely agree with you 100%.
Okay, as for me, now that I'm a parent, I'll still say the same, because I enjoy the way I was with my mom. So I feel the number one thing is that you just have to be very close to your children. Like, you have to always let them know that you are not just your mom, you are also a friend. Give them that room to be able to trust you. You understand?
And express themselves.
Yeah, they should very important. They should be able to express themselves.
And that means killing authoritarian behavior.
That means being able to know that, okay, your children are also human beings. They have their own feelings. And you're not always going to be right. Even though you are a parent. So how African parents are like, and I may born you. I know you. I want you to dominate so much as a parent. You don't need to overdo to exert your power or your authority as a parent. It doesn't even work, to be honest.
Yes.
That does not work.
Yeah.
And I tell
Or it may work for a while, or it may look like it's working.
it's not working. The child will just be building secret rebellion.
And that's what I'm saying.
And
It
you
may
don't know
look like it's
about.
working. So you like go be like
For a
saying,
child,
you
when
don't
you're
see that
small
kind
now,
of
you
thing,
can
no?
be trying to form discipline. I feel that there's a point that a child gets to that is more of talking and understanding.
Like we now,
Yeah.
that time they used to cage us. They don't want us to go anywhere.
Yes.
We found a way.
Yes.
Because when I was growing up, don't wear trousers. Hey, no, we throw it to the next compound. Mommy, I'm going for my best friend. You carry the trouser. When you reach halfway, you change. So they will find a way around.
Yeah,
You. So something like that. I don't want that for my
And in
child.
that process,
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
we make mistakes.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was so engaging and it was
Yeah,
so
it was
good doing it with you girls. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to Joyful's channel. I'll leave all their Instagram handles in the description. I will see you in my next video.
Ciao.